Good morning, my Angry Knots, and welcome to the Angry Artist. We are going to do a unboxing and product review. I got a couple things in this morning. Let's see, make sure my camera's pulled back. So I had ordered some replacement sketch cards, and that's probably what this is, I'm sure. Which I'm not really doing a review on these. Yeah, that's what these are. So, replacement artist trading cards, Bristol, Strathmore. These are 100-pound. They come with 20 sheets to a pack. Extremely good cards. This is what I use for all my sketch cards. And like, here's some examples. Like this I just finished up. So, little Dr. Fate and Skeletor and Red Hood and Thanos. So these do really well, and that's what those cards are that I just got in. So those are really, really cool. So let me throw this out of the way because that's not the main thing that I'm excited about. The main thing I am excited about is this big box right here. Let's see, how did they open this? So, I've been using Copic markers for about, oh man, I don't know, close to a year, maybe about 8 months or so. And it's getting a little harder and harder to find the Copic markers because there's something going on with how they're being shipped to the US or something like that, if I remember correctly. So, a fellow artist had purchased these a little while back and told me they were pretty good, that he really liked them. And it looks like they come in a really nice bag. I don't know what that is. I guess that's their little barcode thing. Oh, that's weird. Try to pull this weird little barcode thing out of here. There we go. Man, that'd have been nice if that had been just a little bigger to where you could put like business cards in it. That'd have been really cool. Oh, that's cool. A dear value customer thing. Oh, very cool. That's nice. I think that's the first time I ever got a little card with something I ordered. Let's see here. Where's the... So anyway, I figured I would give these a try because, Copic markers, even if you buy them from Dick Blick Art and you're getting them for $5 a piece, and refills are around $5 or a little over $5, they're still expensive. Great markers. I love Copics. I'm a huge fan. I own about 100 Copic markers. Huge fan. But these are supposed to be refillable also. They are, I believe it was 168 different markers for $70 plus shipping. So in my opinion, if these work great, you can't argue that. And holy bejeebus. Wow. What in the world? So this is a brand called ARRTX sketch markers. Some kind of pen. 0.5 millimeter. A couple of those in here. And then another, I wonder if these are like white. I think a couple of those white pens, I think that's white is what that's supposed to be. And I apologize for the glare. Let's see if I can get around that glare a little. But I guess Touch New is either a partnership company with them, or they are this, this ARRTX is made by them, since those actually say ARRTX on them. I mean, touch new on those couple of like pins. And like I said, I'm not sure what they are, so I'll test those here shortly to see what those are. Some of these are turned around, and I'm OCD, so it's kind of bugging me. But anyway, so I mean, no matter what, 168 markers for $70 plus shipping. Of course, if you got Amazon Prime or something, you could get it probably with no shipping, which is I think how I got mine. And I like the case. I mean, I wish it was a more sturdy case. And I may end up switching that out just so I can keep, because again, I'm OCD, so I like to keep my colors separated. And before I show you these, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So like on my Copics, I have one of these giant hard cases. This thing is awesome. Strapped, shoulder carrying thing, hand carrier. And then when you flip it open, you see how they're all nice. And you can get one of these that hold more. I think I grabbed the one that holds 120. Actually, no, I take that back. 120 might be the largest they have. But you see how they are on the inside. They're individual little sleeves you slide them into, and they're back on both sides. So, this is what I've been using for my Copics. So I'm probably going to try to find another rigid case to where I can keep the colors in line for what they are, because I don't like spending time trying to search. So that's what I use for my Copics. But holy Jesus, I mean, that's a lot of markers, man. Now let's look at the tips on them, because I noticed one of the things I wasn't super fond of. Now it has a traditional chisel tip, just like Copic markers. This is the part I wasn't super fond of. And I don't know if it's interchangeable. I haven't looked. But this is the tip on these. Now let me show you the difference, or why that's kind of matters to me. So this is more of a sturdy, rigid marker tip. And then on the Copics, it's a brush tip. So you can see the difference right there. Now, I don't know how much of a difference it'll make, but I know the brush tip is extremely useful for not getting, ink lines in the color. You know what I mean? From something being too rigid. So we'll see. That part I'm unsure about, and I don't know if you can get replacements. But if the chisel tip blends enough without putting those marker lines in your image, it may be okay. So let me slide this over a little. And I've got a spare. This is like 8x10 Cougar Super Smooth. That's what I use for a lot of my standard size sketches. So let's try a couple things. So let's try, all right, let's grab one of these lighter colors, because that's usually where you'll have some issues. So we're going to try this Canaria yellow. And I'm going to use just standard microns. With Copics, sometimes with microns, if you don't let them set for a moment, you'll have an issue of them, the alcohol bleeding the marker, or the pen ink rather. All right, so I just put that on. So let's see what happens here. Let's do the sketch. So we got just a little bleed. See the little bit of pull on the black. Clean that off. Okay, so and that was really quick. I mean, I laid it down and then I went straight to that. Normally you wouldn't ever do that. By the time you get done inking, you probably let it set for 5 or 10 minutes. So that is what it is with that. Now let's try the Copic pens. Now, normally with the Copic pens, you can kind of go almost immediately on those with the Copic markers. I mean, they're designed really well for that. And then let's try, I think I got, what size is this one? Oh, that's 0.05. Okay, so I guess there's a 0.5. It's a little bigger. There we go. Some crosshatch there. This pen's almost empty, so I got to order a refill for that. But let's go back to, crap, where's the marker I just had? What was it? This one. Okay, so let's go back to this one. Okay, so still about the same treatment. So Copic's is about the same. No, not really any, yeah, see, clean, not really any pull on that. So that's a good thing. All right, let's try the Pentel pocket brush. Okay, so just a little, not really there in the lighter sections, but where I went real heavy, just a little smudge there and not even much. So that's cool. All right, and let's try something here. All right, so that's about, you know, that's about the main ones I use. Well, I've got this one here. I use this one too. Let's check this one. So that's like the main 3 pens that I use. Oh, wow, awesome. Just a little, I mean little. So if you allow the actual time to dry, that should not be a problem at all. But let's check something here. Let's check, God, man, these things are spread all out. Yeah, definitely gonna have to, I need a darker red. I want to check the blending. But see, this is why it's so good to have your stuff, you know, separated to where you can find it all. Because I mean, there's so many shades of color here. Wow. All right, let's try this vivid red. And I don't really know how the colors work as far as the numbers are concerned. Because, you know, on the Copic markers, you know, it has the number and the code in like the first number. One is like the darkness of it, and one, oh man, I used to remember that. Now I can't remember. But it has to do with what blends with what, you know. Let's see. I mean, the good thing is even with the, yeah, you see, you don't really see, you know, any stroke lines. So that's pretty cool. So let's see. All right, so let's go back to this one. Damn sure blended it in. I need something a little darker, I guess. Wow, where is... Yeah, this is definitely going to have to... All right, so there's that one. All right, so that's 11. I don't see a really dark red. That's got me a little worried. I mean, that coral is more like an orange red. Yeah, see? That's more like an orange red. it's vivid. All right, the stroke lines do really well for like almost vanishing away. That's pretty cool. But out of 60, I think it's 168 markers, you mean to tell me there's not a deep red? I mean, like, cardinal red and like I said, this is so, here's an old red. Let's see what this looks like. All right, that's a little more, kind of, what, crimson color. Now here's a deep red. Okay. And here is that's a cherry pink. Fluorescent coral red. There's all right, now here's a rose red. All right, now there we go. That's a much darker. So let's say that shadow's on this side here. Now I wish I could remember what red that was. Oh, shit. Dang it, dang it, dang it. Was it carmine? Was it this one? No, I don't think that was it, but all right, so let's try a new one then. So that was, which one did I just grab? Vivid red? No, that wasn't it. What was it? Rose red? Is that it? All right, yeah, so let's try rose red and this, why is it, man, it's weird seeing something say deep red. So let's say like there's a shoulder right here. All right, let's try a little. Okay, that little marker flexes just a little, so it's not too bad. Okay, it blends a little. It'll take a little getting used to. And here, I'll show you what I'm referring to. So let's say you take a Copic and you want this base red. Oh, sucker needs a refill. So let's say you're doing that, and then you want to add a darker shade to it, the shadow side. So you see how you got a little more control. See how important that deeper red is? And there's really not a deep red. I guess you could tone it down with some gray. I see some warm grays in here. I don't really see any toner gray. Yeah, man, I'm so not sure. Let's check. Let's try. Let's see what the red does if we go back with. It adds, you know, the warm gray adds. I mean, you could always go that route with the cool grays, I guess. Where's another cool gray? Let me find a real light one. All right, here's a CG5. Let's see what this does. I guess that's about as good as you're going to get it on that. I mean, again, I just got these in, so I hadn't had time to really play with them a whole lot, but I am definitely seeing there's a lot of, let's try a different color. Here's a royal blue, a brilliant blue, sky blue. There's a baby blue. Let's look at these. All right, now the blue does pretty good. So that's not a bad blend. Let's try, let's do this. So let's do, let's do something like that, and then let's see here. So let's try, let's say he's got on blue gloves. Yeah, that's the right one, sky blue. Light's kind of like on this side over here, so we give it just a little bit. Okay, and then let's try this royal blue again. Color in the shadow part. Go back with the sky blue, color around that again to blend a little bit. All right, that's not bad. The blues did really well, or at least I think so. So the problem is then with the reds, there's just not a really dark red. Or at least I'm not seeing it. I mean, I could be overlooking it. There's a lot of markers in here. It does come with a colorless blender. which really the only thing anybody uses blenders for is to remove color that goes over the lines. I really don't know of anybody that does the blender as an actual color blender, because most of the time you can blend with just the colors. All right, so let's see what these pens were that they sent. So they sent 2 of these pink looking pens, and then they sent 2 of these others. So let's see what this is. All right, there's a little nib on the end. Oh, wow. What the, oh, did they? Wow, that pen feels flimsy. Feels weird. Okay, I guess. I guess it's just their ink. And it doesn't, yeah, I guess it does, okay. It felt weird at first. Huh. All right, so I guess that they threw in, I mean, sadly the line is really thick for such a small pen. I do wish it had been a little bit more finer point, but that says that's a 0.5 millimeter. Let's see what the other one was. Okay, it's same size. So they sent 2 of those. Now let's see what this was. Oh yeah, all right. So can you see that? It's a highlight pen, a white pen. And let's see how it dries. Because one of the biggest things that I have found with white pens, gel pens, is they want to dry gray. And this looks like it's doing that. Yeah, it's actually kind of bleeding out. See how it kind of goes, you know, like it leaves just a little bit of it, but then it kind of dries out. But it's really smooth. It feels good running across. But see how it kind of dries? Let me see if I can show that to you. See how it kind of dries out? So they're okay. They're not terrible. But let me show you the difference. So like here's the traditional jelly roll. This is what pretty much everybody uses. And it's definitely one of the best ones I have found. And as you can see the difference in the two? Even though I moved a little quick and it left a gap in between the ink. Sorry for the glare. And then of course, the best I have found has been the Molotow One for All acrylic. Now this has been the best that I have found. This pretty much stays white. It can put down a nice little drop, but you do have to be careful with it. You do need to keep the tip clean and whatnot, because accidents can still happen. Man, I don't know. Let's see how the warm grays look. So here's a warm gray 5 and a warm gray 3. All right, so okay. Okay, gray doesn't do too bad. So I guess time will tell, you know, of how well they work. I still say, you know, they're supposed to be refillable. I have not looked up all the information on that, but the site said they were refillable. So, I mean, to be honest, they're about the same as the Copics to a degree. I mean, I still think Copic is a little better. I mean, considering this is such a large pack of color, it really shocks me that there's not deeper variations of red. I mean, there's a lot of red in here. You know, vivid red and old red and rose red and deep red, but they're all kind of in the same color spectrum to a degree. Like, I'd like to see some like blood red, almost like a really deep red. Because I mean, there's a lot of characters out there that deep red works really well in shadows, and I guess I can still use my Copics for that. Matter of fact, let's check that. So let's take one of these light reds and a Copic dark red, and let's do little arm. There you go. So let's see how they will mix. So let's say the shadow is right there. Ah, dang it. I grabbed the one that's almost empty. All right, yeah, I grabbed the one that's almost empty. Bear with me a second, guys. Let me grab a different one. Not too bad. Let's try if we mix another red in it. Yeah, it's not too bad. So I think the Copics and these will mix. So I can continue to use what dark colors I need with both. I mean, with the Copics and these. So, okay, cool. Okay, so not too bad. Not too bad. Shadows pretty dominant with the Copic. Man, I really hate that there's not a dark, man, out of all that red, there's not a dark red unless I mean, again, I could be overlooking it because that's a lot of markers to just glance through and try to find. Overall, I think it's $70 worth of markers. I mean, I think it's a great price. The colors go down really well. And like I said, now this is Cougar Super Smooth. So I don't know, you know, how it would handle any type of rough style textured paper. I imagine it would do the same thing as it does the Copics. It would try to suck them dry. So you definitely want to make sure you continue to use smooth paper with Copics or ARRTX or any of these other brands that's alcohol based, because rough paper, anything other than smooth or super smooth, I mean, it really wants to suck the marker dry. So definitely try to avoid those. But anyway, guys, that's it for the product review on these. Like I said, my main concern was how the colors laid down, how they blended together. That was pretty cool. They included a pen. I don't know if I'll use it. I'll give it a try. It definitely feels odd being so thin. I would not have done a pen so thin. It really feels weird in the hand, but I guess I could put one of those things on it, you know, to make it thicker. The white gel pen they sent from Touch New is not bad. It does dry to a grayish tone instead of white. But that may not be that bad. It could be used for, you know, not primary highlights, but just kind of secondary highlights to where you don't need it to be super white. So that may be a good thing. But anyway, guys, I'm going to take off. I got art commissions I need to work on. Thank you guys so much. If you liked the video, definitely hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. I'm going to continue to do product reviews and do art commissions, and I'm going to start doing some how-to videos here soon. So definitely stay tuned. Don't forget about the giveaway. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we're going to give away a custom art piece to a winner off the subscription list. Make sure to give me your opinion on these markers down in the comments if you've ever used them, or if you have other brands that you might want to suggest. The only thing about that is make sure they're refillable, because that's what we want to try to push and promote, are the markers to where you just make the initial investment and then you can continue to buy the refills. That is the most cost effective, obviously. But you guys have a wonderful day, and I will chat with you all later.